What's up guys, my name is Silas and today I will teach you how to play Great Are You Lord on Fingerstyle guitar. Before we get into this tutorial, let's check out what you will be learning today. Okay, so now that we have looked at what we're going to learn, let's get into the actual tutorial and learn this song. So we start off by putting our left hand in a chord position of the F chord, but without the bar chord. So we're going to place our index finger on the B string, 1st fret, G string 2nd fret, and D string 3rd fret, like a staircase. And we're going to put our thumb over the neck like this to reach the low E string on the 1st fret. So this is the shape that we're going to hold, and we're going to play the 3rd string or the G string, which we have on the 2nd fret, once. Then we play the B string, but not on the 1st fret like we have it here, but we lift our index finger to play it open. So play the B string open, like this. So, and after this we play the low E string, G string, and B string 1st fret, just in this shape. So all 3 strings together. And after this, we play the D string. We just stay in this position and we play the D string, G string, B string, and G string again. So, like this. And then we lift our index finger again, play the B string open once, and then we transition to a A minor chord position. So we're going to place our index finger onto the B string on the 1st fret, G string and D string 2nd fret, like this. This is the A minor. And we're going to play 3 strings. We're going to play the A string open, the G string 2nd fret, and the B string on the 1st fret. All 3 strings together. So from here, like this. Feel free to stop the video and just take your time as much as you need. And then after this, sorry for the background noise by the way, and after this we're going to stay in this position and we're going to pluck D string, which we have on the 2nd fret, G string also 2nd fret, and B string 1st fret. So And immediately after this, we play the G string on the second fret again, and B string on the first fret again as well. So. And after this, we transition to a G chord. So we're going to place the play the low E string on the third fret. We're going to play the G string open and the B string on the third fret. All three strings together, like this. And then we play the B string on the third fret once more. And then we move to the first fret. So this is a bit of a stretch. I would recommend keeping my middle finger here so that the low E string rings out. So we stretch here to the B string on the first fret. And then we play it again with the low E string together on the third fret. But this time doing a hammer-on onto the third fret, like this. Like this. And then first fret again. So again, slowly. Let's go from the A minor. And this was basically already the whole verse, because the next part is just repeating it. Repeating the same thing we just learned. And when we've gotten to the second playthrough, the end is a bit different, and this is what we're going to look at now. So then we continue, after playing this part we just learned twice, we're going to continue by going into this F shape that we had at the very beginning. So thumb over the low E string on the first fret, and the staircase like this. B string first fret, G string second fret, D string third fret. And we're just going to hold it like this, and we're going to pluck. Not simultaneously. Low E string, after that D string, G string, B string, G string again, and D string. So this is a small arpeggio, so we just go down and up basically. The notes that we're pressing down, or the strings that we're pressing down. So like this. And immediately after this, we transition to a A minor again that we had earlier. And we're going to strum the A minor, or you can pluck the A minor, choose as you wish. And we're going to strum from the from the A string, because we don't play the low E string in the A minor, right? So we're gonna just pluck from here, and we're going to hold an A minor. So you probably know what this is, right? B string first fret, G and D string second fret. And I like to pluck it like this, as if I'm holding a pick, because if I do it like this, my fingernail hits the strings instead of like my skin, and so the sound is a bit more bright. And after playing, or after strumming this chord, I'm gonna move down my index finger onto the first fret of the high E string instead of B string. So like this. And then I play the high E string open. And then I play the low E string on the third fret. And immediately after that, I play the B string on the third fret and the G string open together. So like this. And then that's already it for the verse. And the next thing we're going to learn is the chorus. Okay, so now we've come to the chorus. So let's continue. We start off with playing the B string on the first fret. And then we play the the high E string on the third fret. And then we play it together again, but this time with the bass note, the low E string on the first fret with our thumb. Like this, so. And then we play the low E string once again. And then we play this exact same pattern. So again we play the B string, first fret, high E string, third fret, and once again, but this time instead of playing the first fret on the low E string as our bass note, we're going to play the A string open as our bass note. Like this. And then once again. And then B string, first fret, high E string, third fret, and then we're going to basically play a G chord. We're going to play with our middle finger the low E string on the third fret and the high E string on the third fret as well. We're going to plug it once, both together, and then play the high E string on the third fret 3 more times. Then high E string open, and then close it again on the third fret together with the low E string on the third fret. And then play the high E string once more, and then once more again, but this time we do a slide onto the 5th fret, so like this. So again from the start. And after this, we're going to basically play the same thing that we just learned earlier, or except the first part. So sorry. And then same part, but then we play it open, the high E string open, and then we do a stretch on the high E string on the 1st fret, and we play it together with the low E string on the 3rd fret. High E string on the 1st fret and low E string on the 3rd fret, both strings together. And then lift our finger, play the high E string open, and then end this with a C. And what I like to do is just play like a C chord, so B string 1st fret, D string 2nd fret, A string 3rd fret, and just play the A string, G string, and B string. 3 strings together, like this. So let's go through this one more time, a bit slowly, because the chorus can be a bit confusing. And this was already the chorus, and now we're getting to the final part, to the bridge. So the bridge starts with a C chord. So we're gonna play a C, like I said earlier, B string, first fret, D string, third fret, A string, sorry, B string, first fret, D string, second fret, A string, third fret. And we're starting off by playing the B string once. And then, now we're gonna play the B string a lot here, so just stay with me. So play it once, and then we're going to roll the C string, the C chord, sorry, by plucking the A string, G string, and B string. Like this. So. And then we play the B string and G string once again. And then we play the B string twice. And then again the C roll. I'm just going to call it the C roll so you know what I mean. And I don't have to explain it over and over again. So rolling the C chord and plucking the A string, G and B string. And then after that the B string one more time. So again, slowly. Like this. And then we continue by playing the G string open, B string first fret again, and then we use our pinky finger to press down. Like you can of course play like this, maybe it's easier. I like to do it this way. We're gonna play the B string on the third fret this time. And then do the C roll, so playing these three strings. So, three strings together. And then same pattern as we did earlier where we had the B string on the first fret, but now with the third fret. So, sorry, so. Like this. So that's two strings, B string, twice, C roll, B string twice again. And then we end with low E string and high E string both on the first fret. Then low E string once again. And then both strings again. And then high E string third fret. So. And then we end the song with a C. And I like to play the A string, the G string open, the B string first fret and the high E string open. 4 strings this time. So using all the fingers except our pinky. Like this. And then we pluck D string second fret, just like we have it in the C shape. So, and then we play a G string open, high E string, B string, G string. So, sorry. Like this. And then I like to end the song with like this. So that's the A string, third fret, D string, second fret, G string, open, and B string, first fret. So the bridge, the last part, one more time, but slowly. And then in the original you play the bridge one more time and then you get back to the chorus. So we are at the end of this tutorial. I really hoped that it helped you and that you were able to learn this song. Just take your time to practice. Obviously it's not going to sound perfect right at the get-go. So take your time, be patient, and with patience you will be able to master the song.